Hi guys, Victoria here for Beyond Paper by Victoria, and if you're not familiar with my channel and it's your first visit, my name's Victoria, everybody calls me Vicky, and I'm Senior DT for Tonic Studios here in the UK, and today I am bringing you this fabulous Celebrate with Style presentation box. And as you can see, it's going to be a card that fits inside a box, so you've got best of both worlds there. So let's talk through the die set, shall we? As you can see, it's on a full magnetic sheet here for me working with it. You'll see here you have an outer die. This is going to be for your card because it is actually going to be a domed shape frontage on the card. You have a layer there for the backing. You also have this beautiful deboss design here. So that would look lovely in your satin card or your mirror card. We also have a sentiment there with a backing plate. Now you also, with the box part of the die set, you also have another sentiment, Celebrate with Style, and that is a deboss. So again, that would look lovely in your satin cards. Here you have a more detailed way. You can either paper piece or you can colour with your pens. The same goes for this set as most. You can use all your pattern papers if you like to use pattern papers in your products and your samples. So this is the box, and we'll need to cut 3 of these pieces. Okay. We then have a backing plate with a more detailed floral design, and I'm going to show you all the bits and pieces that I've cut out. You'll need to cut 2 of these. These are kind of like a resting place so that the front of your box doesn't dip inside your box, and all will become clear. You have decorative panels here for the sides of your box, so you have a more detailed which matches the pattern here within this set, or you can have that deboss, and again, satin card, mirror card, pearlescent card. Looks absolutely stunning when you're using the deboss dies. Now this piece here, you'll need to cut 2 of these, and this is for the sides of your box. And then this panel here, you'll need to cut 2 of these, and this is like a little belly band that will go around your box to keep the box closed. And that does have a pattern all of its own, but it does match with the set. Okay, so that's the set. I'm going to move it away, and then we're going to put one together. Okay, so I've got lots of bits and pieces. Now I've gone ahead and I've coloured this one with my alcohol markers, and I've done that ahead of time because that would take far too long for you to be watching me doing all those things, but I will guide you through every little bit. So let's look at the box first. Okay, so lots and lots and lots of elements here, but we will get there. So let's just work with the box for now. Okay, so as you can see, we've got the 2 pieces, you know, and they are going to overlap. And then we have 2 end pieces that are going to go in here, top and bottom. So that is the base of your box. But what we want to do is we want to add these before we glue it to this next piece, so that we're hiding our workings, because you know Vicky doesn't like to see workings. I like it to look professionally finished. So as always, I am using wet adhesive here, and I'm just going to bring that panel to this one like so, and down that goes, and then press that down. Now I have got my bone folder here, my precision tool, my glider, which, you know, a desert island, as Jodie always says she likes to take. She would never leave the house without the pokey tool, hence why she ended up in a little bit of a pickle once and decided to, well, it decided to pierce her breast. So she was in a little bit of a pickle. So yes, be careful where you put your pokey tool, guys, you know, because it can be dangerous. But, you know, I'm the same with this. You know, I use this an awful lot in my crafting. So, you know, I'd be lost without that. Thankfully, it's quite a blunt instrument, so I'm not going to do myself any harm. But that story just makes me tickle every time she tells it on TV. So funny. I mean, that would have hurt. I you know, I'm sitting here with a little grin, but I bet that did hurt. Right. So as you can see, we have that now. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to cover those tabs with an internal one. Okay. You can do it either way. So we want the adhesive down there. Okay. And it looks like I'm putting a lot on, but I am actually tickling the card. And then just make sure you bring your side panels up so that you're not over gluing anywhere and it's not going to close. So bring that in. And then I'll go down then with my glider, just making sure I've got a good adhesion all the way around. Okay, so then we want to glue the glue tabs in. Okay, so we want to add a little bit of adhesive on each corner. Now if you've got pegs, yep, put a peg on there, that will work great. I did have some pegs out the other day and then I put them away again, so we'll just hold it for a second or two. It gives you a little wiggle room, and the deluxe adhesive. It is currently out of stock at the moment on the website, but I'm sure it will be back soon. The guys are working on it. I think since the precision glue press came out, we've all kind of stocked up on our glue a little bit, and we've left them with none. So just hold that, like I say, just for a few seconds, and then add the rest of the glue onto your other tabs there, and then bring that one in. There we go. So I hope everybody's well. I hope you're all having a fun time playing with all the craft goodies that you've bought recently. And what are you playing with at the moment? What are you making, or what are you enjoying at the moment? Are you more into colouring? Are you more into 3D? Do you like cards, or do you like a little bit of everything? It's always nice to know what you guys like doing at home. Gives me an idea then of things that you'd like me to bring and share. We aim to please. Right, so now you have this base of the box, and you think, well, it hasn't got any of these resting pieces here. All will become clear. Okay, so now we have the third one that I said to cut, and I've cut the glue tab off this edge here. Okay, and I've cut an aperture in the center. Now as you can see, you have all those layers that I talked to you before, and we've used white stamping card because I have gone in with some alcohol pens here, and then I've cut the detail in black, and it's quite forgiving putting the black layer on and colouring through with your pens. Okay, so this, it's not that one, that's for the card. Ah, there we go. Jumping ahead of myself, getting ready for the card, and we've not made the box yet. So this is the one for the box, and I can just see a tiny slither of white, which I don't like, so I'm going to snip that off. There we go. So this is going to rest on this front, like so. Okay, so I'm going to add that now. Oh dear, I was getting ahead of myself then, wasn't I? I'm either ahead of myself or I've forgotten to cut something out. There's always something. Always something. But hey ho, we keep moving. There we go. Right, so place that down there. And you've got a nice even border there all the way round. So just press that down. There we go. And then we've cut ourselves this gorgeous ring frame, and we've done it in pearlescent cardstock, and it's just beautiful. So this, believe it or not, you can't see it on camera, but I've gone with corals. They look quite red on camera, but they are coral colours, so we've gone with the corals and the bubble gums. So you could add this frame on with a slight 3D foam pad, but because we're adding a belly band to the box, I'm keeping it all flat. Okay, so we just line that one up there. Okay, and then press down, and then this will be going on the side of the box like so. Okay, but this has a tendency to dip, doesn't it? So this is where your discs come in. So you'll see a score line, you'll place one on the inside here. Okay, so we're going to add adhesive now to that section. Roughly estimate where your middle is. By eye will do. Was it a lady called Sue Smith, I think? Many years ago on Crate and Craft, she always used to, I don't know if she was a Yorkshire lady, I can't remember now, but she used to come and she used to say, oh, I don't do measuring. She says, it's all by eye. By eye. Right. And now I'm going back a bit now, remembering that lady. I've not seen her for a very long time. I don't know whether she's retired from crafting. There we go. So, there's the base. So this, I'm not going to bend it too much yet till it's dried, but this will stop that from falling in then. It has a resting place. Okay. So, I have lined the inside of my box. So what I did to line it, okay, you do have a layering die in here that you could use, but I wanted something slightly bigger, so I actually drew inside this die here with a pencil and then cut it out. So I wanted it to be slightly bigger, but that's personal choice, you know, you don't have to go that way at all. So there we go. Again, tickling that card, and I just pull that out so I don't get glue everywhere. There we go. And I'm just going to line the inside of there just to give it a pop of colour. Okay, and I've also gone ahead and I've cut some decorative pieces for inside that lip. Okay, I'm just going to go in there with that. I just think lining it just adds that extra little bit of luxury, and again it will make your project pop and stand out. So, and this is Craft Perfect. This is our coral. I love the coral and the bubblegum tones together. And my good friend, my very best friend, Jennifer Cray, who was on the design team, this was one of her colour mixes. And when she did it, I said, oh my word, I said, I absolutely love that. Jenny's great with colour, absolutely amazing with colour. And I have pinched one or two of her colour schemes, but I have said to her, can I please, sir? And she said, of course. But yeah, she does come up with some fantastic colour mixes, I've got to say. And I do like to mix and match my colours, but sometimes you do get stumped because you've tried so many different colours and you think, well, I want something new, you know. So there you have the inside of your box fully lined, and I just think that just looks so much nicer, you know. You don't have to, but it is nice too. So I'm going to place adhesive now on the back here of this panel. Okay, so I'm just going to rest that up and I'm going to place that on the side there. Okay, make sure we've got that square on. Yep. Now you could put acetate in the front of this aperture if you want to, and then you could obviously cover it up from the inside. So I am just going to press that down from the inside just to make sure we are well and truly stuck down. There we go. There. So that has a nice little resting place. So this is why we have the belly band. Okay. So let's do the belly band now, whilst we're thinking about it. So I've left mine open. You might want to put acetate in and then add a topper on top of the acetate, but I'm leaving mine open as it is without the acetate for today. So I've done a few different ways. So this is your strip. So you need 2 of these, glue tab at this end, and let's glue that down there. Okay, and then press that down with your bone folder, and then again we're going to do the same again. So glue on the tab and bring that one in. Okay, and as you can see, you've got your little belly band there. All right, so now we're going to decorate this belly band, and we've used alcohol pens just to give a little bit of colour there, and we're going to add that on, making sure it's kind of central there. Press that down, then flip him over and do the other one. Now you could have added these panels when it was flat, you know, just to make life easier for yourself. But, either or. No fast rules with crafting, is there? You just go with the flow. There we go. And then we have 2 little end panels. Okay, so they're going to go on the ends there. And then this one. Now ordinarily, I haven't done it, so this is telling your grandmother how to suck eggs, as we say in the UK. But ordinarily, if I've used a white backing card, I would go in down the edge with a little black ink or alcohol pen. But we've stuck them down now, but that's what I would do. I don't like to see white edges on black card, but there we go. Vicky's done what she shouldn't be doing, really. It's personal choice again, but it's just I like things in a certain way, and I like black edges really, not white edges. But there we go. We've got what we've got. And then this belly band, then when your card's gone inside, is gonna go round your box, she says. I'm ever confident. I'm just being careful because my glue won't be dry. Maybe we'll leave that. We'll leave it till we've done the card, because knowing my luck, it's not dry yet. Right, so card. We want to cut the backing plate from the box for our card base. So I've just put a 1/2 inch score line across the back, so it's a tent fold. Now you might want to have it open the other way. That's perfectly fine. This is just personal choice again. Okay. And that's the card base done. So now we have this with a score line each side. And I've also thought that this would make a great memory book. Just saying. Because you've got tabs, so you could make that work for a memory book. Right. Now we have this panel, which I've gone ahead, like I said, and added the colour. That is going to be glued on the front there. Okay, make sure I've got it the right way. There we go. So that will go and glue on there like so. So we'll do that now. There we go. And then down that goes. Leaves you with a little border each side. Now the tab each side for this is obviously to adhere to your card. Okay, and I'll show you how we went about that. You do have to let things dry a little bit, because we are going to be manipulating this a little with a little bit of a curve. Now this is where I say you can add acetate if you want like a lightweight. You can also, if you have a smaller sentiment from another set, put some invisible thread top and bottom, and you can have like a little swizzler in the middle there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to add adhesive to this glue tab here. Okay. And then we're going to adhere that to one edge of the card, like so. So, just going to bring that, I'm going to bring it to it. I think that's an easier way of doing it. There we go. Okay. And then bring that down there. And we want to make sure that this is dry before we curve it and bring it over to the other side, because you're going to have a little bit of resistance there. Okay, so you can shape it a little bit, being careful, because obviously your glue is still not quite there. And then we're going to be adding adhesive to this side here. And then we're going to be gluing that to the inside of this panel. Okay, so we want to push down and then grab it with your fingers like so. And we can go in after with the bone folder and make sure it's well and truly adhered. Okay. So what I tend to do is fold it and then go in with my bone folder, or if you had a ruler, and then press firmly so you know you're well and truly stuck. And that is your card blank there. So your card would sit up like so. Okay, so we're now going to add another matching frame like we did before to the box. Okay, so I'm just going to put that down there. Again, you could have added this frame before, you know, no rules really. And then we just grab that all the way round. Now at this point you could have added a liner to the inside of the back of the card, so we could have gone with a coral again, but I'm just going to add a sentiment that I've cut. So I've got a backing in white, I've done a shadow layer in black. I hope all your wishes come true. And then we've gone with the same tone with the blush coloured mirror. So I'm going to add glue. I can't actually remember the name of this pearl, not mirror, pearl, but it is peachy in colour. It's like the bubblegum Craft Perfect, and you'll all be screaming what colour it is at me. But we've had so many colours of so many cardstock over the years, and some get discontinued, and yeah, the old brain cell can't remember all of these colours anymore. So, and I don't keep my cardstock in packets. Mine is all colour coordinated on the shelf, easy to grab. So, you know, once that packet's gone, it's gone out of Vicky's brain. So I have to say, I've used the black cardstock I've used is an actual 240 GSM cardstock, which is great, you know, for making your boxes, etc., and your card blanks. So that's what I've used. And then we're going to line that up on its backing plate. So just giving that a little shadow, just lifts it a little bit, you know, than putting just one layer down and it being quite flat. This kind of lifts it a little. I do like a shadow layer. And then what we're going to do is we're going to place this inside the card there, in the center. So I'm just going to add a little drizzle, and then I'm going to thread this up through here, and I'm just going to tilt it towards me, guys, so I can see roughly where I want to be. By eye again. That'd be my saying for today. I've pinched it. By eye. Now you could go in with some little pearl drops, you could go in with some flowers, you put a little bow here, but then this will slot inside your box there. So you've got your beautiful card, which you could line inside for writing, etc. That folds over the top, and like I said, you could have put acetate in there if you wanted to. And then we're going to decorate the sides of the box with this beautiful deboss, and that is your pearlescent again to bring it all in, so it's all matching. So not only have we decorated inside, we're going to decorate outside. Okay, so bring that down there. If you wanted to add the pattern, you can add the pattern as well, and add your colour into the sides. Or if you're using pattern papers, then you can make a pattern papered box. And this box will work with so many other things. So I think this is something that will be in your collection and get used for other cards, other projects. Okay. This actually could be like a little mini potion book. Remember the potion box I did recently on a bigger scale? It's a similar kind of style. You put some, you could actually, for Halloween, you know, those tiny little bottles that you can get with like sequins in and glitter in. You could do like a Halloween theme. Do you remember years ago we did like little scenes inside tins, like your sardine tin? This box would work wonderfully doing a scene inside. if you had some little tree branches, you could make a whole autumnal scene inside there. That would be lovely. That would be really lovely, actually. Giving myself an idea there. Now we put this last panel on. There we go. Like I say, you can decorate your panels first if you prefer. There we go. And so there is your beautiful card inside there. And then you could have acetate in there and have it as a shaker. Put some little sequins and have it as a little shaker box on the outside. And then this belly band just wraps its way around. I'm not wanting to be too tough with it because I'm waiting for things to dry. But there is your little belly band that holds that box then together. Okay, so that is our beautiful Celebrate with Style presentation box. So I hope I've given you a few little ideas there of things that you can create with this box yourself. And as always, housework always has to be done, doesn't it? If you'd like to purchase this through me, then I have my affiliate links in the description. It doesn't cost you anything extra to use those affiliate links. I just gain a small commission for you using it, which helps me bring these tutorials to you. Please subscribe to the channel. It's completely free, and if you click the little bell, it will notify you of any new content that I've put on my channel. And please come and say hello. Give me a thumbs up if you like what you see, and it'd be just lovely to know where you're from and what kind of crafting that you like to do. And it's always nice to know that I'm not talking to myself. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Absolute pleasure as always. Take care and happy crafting.